This conference will now be recorded.
So we are discussing about the filters in Tableau. What are the different types of filters and how it will be executed. You can go with this, the order of execution. So what are the different types of filters we have it? Extract filter, data source level filter, context filter, dimension filter, measure filter, and last, the order of execution, table calculation filter will be there. So these are the list of filters which we have it. When you go for say that what are the different types of filter? Extract filter, data source level filter, context filter, dimension filter, measure filter. You can say these all. Okay, in the order of execution, when they go for ask you that what is the order of execution, extract filter, data source level filter, context filter, and fixed LOD. You need to specify here fixed LOD will execute next, and dimension filter, include and exclude, and measure filter and table calculation. The order of execution is this. Okay, the order of execution is this. Clear this point? So we have discussed about the extract filter, data source level filter, dimension filter, and measure filter. Dimension filter and measure filter. Right? What else we have it? Context filter. The pending is context filter. Okay, let's go for see that what we can go with do with the context filter and what is the use of that. What is the use of that? Clear? Any questions? Let me bring you some text for you. Content, context filter in Tableau. See, just I'm showing that example as well. And what is the use of the context filter? Okay, let's go by point. Use of the context filter. By default, all the filters that you see in Tableau are computed independently. The first point is all the filters in Tableau can be computed independently. What are the filters we have it? Those are all the filters that can be that you set is a Tableau are computed independently. That is, each filter access all the rows in your data source. Each filter access all rows in your data source without regards to the other filters. It doesn't touch with any other filters. All the filters will work independently and access all rows you have in data. What are the data you have in all rows can be go for access it. However, you can set one or more categorical filters as context filter for the view. You can think of context filter as being an independent filter. Okay, if you specify the particular context filter, it's an independent filter. Any other filters that you set or define a dependent filters because they processing only data that pass through the context filter. Okay, let's go for this point very clear. The first point we are saying that Tableau are computed independently. All the filters we can set up, all the filters we can set up, those can be computed independently in Tableau. Okay, what are the filters we have it? Those are all computed independently in Tableau. Okay, so each filter access all rows in your data source. Second point, each filter access all rows in your data source without regarding the other filters. It doesn't reflecting the other filters. Okay, however, you can set one or more categorical filters, if you go for specify that any one of the filter as a context filter for the view. If you specify any filter as a context filter for the particular visualization, you can think of that context filter as being an independent filter. So context filter as being an independent filter. Okay, Once any one of the field, you can take it and you can make it as a context filter. So context filter as an independent filter. Any other filters that you set or defined as a dependent filters. Any other filters that you set or defined as a dependent filters, because they process only the data that pass through the context filter. So any other filters you can apply it, those can be passed through the context filter. Those can be passed through the context filter. Okay, you may create a context filter to force a filter to be carried out first. So why you are going to be make it as a context filter? You may go for create a context filter. Why we are making this context filter is force a filter to be carried out first. So that particular filter, we are pushing that particular filter to run first, carried out first. It can be execute first. So create a dependent numerical or top n filter. You can set a context filter to include only data of the interest, and then set a numerical or top n filters. Okay, numerical or top n filters, we can apply it. Okay, so what are the clear points we need to be understand here? The first point, all the filters that you set in Tableau are computed independently. Okay, independently there is go for executed. Okay, each filter access all rows of data in data source without regulating the other filters. So it cannot go for touch any other filters. Other than that, it can go for access the all rows in your data source without regarding the other filter. Each filter access all rows in your data source without regards to other filters. Okay, and next, if you specify any filter as a context filter. Okay, so categorical filters as a context filter that view, they can think context filters being independent filter. Any other filters you define as a dependent filter. So what happened? The next point is, if you define one filter as a context filter, okay, specify, define a filter as a context. Okay, define a filter as a context. Okay, other other filters can pass through the context filter. Okay, any other filters which we have in the same view, those can be passed through the context filter. That's a point. Okay, why you are specifying that a context filter is, we are specifying for it pushing pushing that filter into on front, pushing that filter into first execution. Okay, pushing that filter into first. Okay, I will show you the practically, just try to understand that. Okay, for example, suppose you are changing the breakfast products for the large grocery chain. You can task in the front of top 10 baskets products, and okay, fine, this is okay. This is, I will show you, remove from context, speed up the context filter. Yeah, to improve the performance of the context filter, especially large data source, follow the general rules. Okay, if you have applied that context filter, okay, so if you want to improve that speed of the context filter, these are the points we need to be followed. First, we can go for see that how we can create the context filter, and let's see that how to improve that later. Okay, I have a data like this. Let me go for show you that uh, subcategory wise sales. Subcategory wise sales, I have it. Okay, is subcategory wise sales, I have it. Right, I have a subcategory wise sales, and I have filter called as category. Okay, I can make it as a show filter. The filter can be shown here in the right side, right? So what are the selection I will do? What are the selection I will do? Based on that, if I selected furniture, furniture related subcategories I can get it. If I select office supplies related subcategories I can get it. If I selected technologies, technology related subcategories we can get it. Right? Can you see this? So far clear? Any questions? So far clear? So we have a filter, one filter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we have a filter that's based on the selection my data is changing. Okay. So here my requirement is so if I selected furniture, I want to see that I want to see that top two subcategories from the furnitures. Only I want to see the top two subcategories from the furniture. Okay. So when I go for select the office supplies, I want to see the top two from the office suppliers. Top two subcategories from the office suppliers. When I select technology, I want to see the top two from the technology. Top two subcategories from the technology. I want to get that. Clear that requirement. When I select that technology, I want to see top two only. Phones and machines is the top two. I want to show only these two subcategories. Okay, I want to show only these two subcategories. When I go for select office supplies, I want to show only storages and binders. Those are the top two, right? When I go for select the furniture, only top two from the furniture, chairs and tables. These two are the top two subcategories. I want to show only these two. Okay, when I select all, I want to get that top two from the all the subcategories. I want to get the top two from the all the subcategories. Which are the top two? Chairs and phones. When I select all, I want to get the top two from the all the subcategories, chairs and phones. Okay, if you selected furniture and technology, I want to see top two from the furniture and technology. I want to see top two from the furniture and technology. Okay, how can we get that? How can we get that? First, we can see that furniture I have it, top two I want to get it. What is the option? How we can make it as top two? How will you bring the top two subcategories here? Yesterday we have seen that how to get the top three, top five subcategories. Have you seen that yesterday? No? Either yes or no. Tell me that. If you haven't seen, I will explain you that. If you have seen that, anyhow, I can explain again if you don't tell me. Have you seen or not? Yes or no? Don't be silent. Kumar, you are there, right? Nand Kumar. Have you seen that top five, top six kind of thing or not? Guys, can you hear me? I don't hear you. Anybody speaking?
Sir, can you repeat the question? My connection was broken actually.
Yeah, I'm asking that. Have you seen that? How to get the top five subcategories, bottom five subcategory kind of thing yesterday? Have you seen them? Okay, let me show you back. If you have a data like this, I have a subcategory wise sales. Okay, I want to see only top five subcategories from this visualization. Okay, top 5 subcategories from this visualization. Okay, subcategory I can go for it. Filter option is there. Have you seen these 4 options or only 3 we seen that? At least can tell me that what are the options we have seen yesterday?
This custom value, wildcard, condition, top, general.
Top also we have seen or not? We have discussed the top as well, but you need to be answered that. Just I'm asking, have we discussed this part or not? Yesterday, have we discussed this part or not? I'm
Yes,
asking. Yeah. Okay. So if I make it as 5, I can get the top 5 subcategories based on the sales. Top 5 subcategories based on the sales. Apply. Okay. Can we get the top 5 subcategories here? Okay. Only top 5 subcategories we can see in this visualization. So we are getting the top 5 subcategories, right? And if I want to see the bottom 5 subcategories, let's go for one more sheet. Okay, select the subcategory and sales. Okay, so how I can get the bottom 5 subcategories? Just go with the subcategory filter, and top option is there by field. You can change it to bottom. So make it as bottom 5. This bottom 5 is calculation based on the sales, sum of sales. Based on the how was the sales is there. So those bottom 5 subcategories we can get it. So these are the bottom 5 subcategories. Okay, top 5 and bottom 5 we can get it like this. So now my requirement is I want to get that when I select the furniture related top 2 I want to show that. How I can get the furniture related top 2 subcategories? What is the step I need to do? What's the step I need to do? Tell me what is the step I need to do? Don't be silent anywhere. So try to be tell me something. Okay. If someone asks you in the meeting, if you silently sit there in the office,
No, no, bro.
okay. So I want to get the top 5. Just see, I shown you just now. I shown you go for subcategory filter. I have option top 5. Or here I need to mention the 2. So why you people are silent? I don't understand that. You are not getting what I'm saying is tell me. I can explain you again and again. Okay, I need to know that. If you be silent, I can go for my flow. You all can hear me, right?
Mr. Irma.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like every time you mute it, and when I ask you the question, unmute it and answer it and keep it in mute. Maybe if I mute you all, you cannot able to speak out. Okay, just try to be that. Now, Kumar, can you hear me now? Can you speak it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So what I did, just I can go for subcategory filter top by field. I'm mentioning here two. I'm mentioning here two. Apply. Okay. So how much we are expecting? How much we are expecting? Top two, right? We're expecting top two. How many we are getting? How many we are getting? Only
I
one
will get
change.
only one.
So how can we get then two? How can we get then two? So why we are getting only one? So if you don't specify any filter as a context, these two filters independently go to the data source and it will fetch the data accordingly. Okay, there is no dependence. There is no here the option we have it category furniture. Go with the more options. Go with the more option. Add to context. The option is called as add to context. Click on that. So the context filter color it will represent that a gray color out. Can you see now two? Are we getting the two or not? Okay, category furniture can be execute first. Category furniture filter can be execute first. The other filters which we can apply it, those can be refer that context filter. Those can be refer that context filter and related data you can get it. Related data you can get it. Okay, so what is the filter we have it? Chairs and tables which is related to furniture. Now you can go for select that office supplies to storages and binders and technologies, phones and machines. Even you select all, we can get top two chairs and phones. You can get it top two. So this is the advantage of the category. This is the advantage of the context filter. When you say that context filter, the series of other filters can refer that context filter. The series of the next filters can be refer that context filter and the related data we can get it. And related data we can get it. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now you can see that speed up the context filter. What we need to do that? Speed up the context filter. To improve the performance of the context filter, especially a large data source, follow the general rules. So using a single context filter that significantly reduce the size of the data set is much better than applying many context filters. Try to use only single context filter. Okay, what they are saying is try to use single context filter. Try to avoid the many context filters over there. Complete all your data modeling before creating the context filter. So if you have anything in the data modeling kind of thing can be created, completed before creating the context filter. If you have any data modeling part you have it, you need to be completed before creating the context filter. Change in the data model such as converting dimension to measure required recompute the context. Yeah, if you want to change the dimension field to measure field to dimension, you want to do such changes, do it before going to be create the context filter, before going to do the context filter. Sorry, yeah, before going to the context filter you need to be created. Got this point? If you want to change the dimension field to measure field to dimension, that can be do it before creating the context filter. Once you created the context filter, don't convert them into the dimension to measure to dimension. Set the necessary filters for the context and create the context before adding field to the other cells. Set the necessary filters for the context and create the context before adding fields to the other cells. Okay, doing this work first make the query that are run when the draw fields on the other cells much faster. Okay, so make it as follow that context filter. Which self you want to be drag it first, create the context filter and drag it into the cells. Okay, so it will execute first and other filters can be followed. If you want to set a context filter on date, you can use the continuous date. If you want to set a date as a context filter, it should be in continuous. It should be in continuous. Okay, it should be in continuous date, not a discrete. Okay, and we have one more option. However, using the date bin like year of date, using the date bin like year of order date. So context filter on the discrete dates are very effective. Very effective. Let me make these points very important. So they will ask you that how you can improve the performance of the context filter. What are the limitations? They ask you. You need to specify these points. Okay, clear this point. Now let's go for note. What is a note? Context filter can adversely affect any query performance improvements when you use the assume referential integrity option in the data menu of the data source. For more information, assume referential integrity also I will tell you. First, context filter can affect any query performance improvements when you use that assume referential integrity option in the data menu. Okay, what is the assume referential integrity? I will tell you. Just note it down this point. Okay, we can go for quoted this point as well. So one more example for creating context filter here, subcategory sales, and you can go with the top 10 subcategories. We can get it.
Hello.
Sorry guys, I'm speaking on mute. Yeah, can you hear me now? Sorry. So how long I'm speaking on mute?
5 minutes, bro.
Hmm?
Means 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
Should
bro.
be.
5 minutes.
I'm showing my screen and moving my mouse, but still you are not asking me that I am speaking on mute.
I asked you, sir. I put a message.
Yeah, just you asked me. That's why I understood that I was in mute. Okay, all right. I want to explain that how that context filter will work here. How the context filter will work here. So we are imported the data into Excel. So what kind of data we have it? Category I have it, and subcategory related sales values I have it, right? So I have a filter category. Okay, if I select the furniture, I want to get the furniture related data into my output, right? When I select the furniture, only furniture related. Okay, so this I can get it. When I go for select the office supplies, I want to get the office supplies related data into output. Okay, if I select the technology related data, I want to get it. Is this clear? Clear or not? Please respond to me. It's like don't be silent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. When I select furniture from my filter, I need to get that furniture related data into my visualization. So what it means, I'm selecting. If I select the furniture related data. When I select it from office supplies related data. When I select technologies, technology related data, same thing I am showing in Excel. Okay, so when I select furniture, I need to get this furniture related data into that output. Okay, next step. So I have one more filter which I want to show it at subcategory top 2. Subcategory top 2 I want to be get it. The second filter. Okay, so when you don't apply category as a context, so far we haven't make the category as a context filter. So we haven't defined the category as a context filter yet. Okay, so first step what you do, you can go for select the furniture. Then what we can get it furniture related data into my output. You can get it furniture related data into my output. Right, first filter I have. What we are saying that first point. So filters can independently. So all the filters that set Tableau as a compute independently. The second point, each filter access all rows in your data source without regarding the other filters. It don't reflect other filters. Other than that, it will go for access the all the data in your data source. The first filter went to the data source and fetched the data related to furniture because I selected furniture. The second filter, what we have it subcategory as a top 2, right? So irrespective of that all, it will go for the subcategory into data source from these all subcategories. From these all subcategories, which are the top 2? From these all subcategory by sales, which are the top 2? Which are the top 2? Tell me.
Chairs and phones.
I didn't get.
Cha- Chairs and phones. Exactly. Okay, chairs and phones. So what it will do is it will get that. It will get the chairs and phones. Where we have the phones, phones will be part of the technology. It will get it here, right? So we have two filters in the visualization. One filter which is get it furniture related data. The second filter we are getting that. The second filter we are getting that top two subcategories. The two top two subcategories from all data set is chairs and phones. So when you go for two filters, the data can be shown in satisfying these two conditions. One is a furniture, second one is a top two. So what is the common between these two? This is a one set of data. This is another set of data. So satisfying two conditions, what is the common is there?
Chairs.
Chairs. That's why you are getting chairs as a output. Okay, chairs as only why we are getting only one record is this is the reason we are getting only chairs when you selected furniture. Suppose if you go for select office supplies, what happens if you go for select the office suppliers, you can get this one as an output. Okay, again it will go for check the top two from the subcategory respective, top two from this all the data. Which are the top two here?
Again,
Chairs and
chairs and
phones.
phone.
Again chairs and phones. So is there
Yeah.
any common data in the two data sets?
No, no data is available. No common data.
I didn't get your voice.
There is no common data. There is no common data. That's why Avi Supply is not getting anything. When you go for select technologies, you can get the phones. You can get the phones. So because in the top two, phones is there, which is from technology, and it will go for these two data sets, which is satisfying phones. That's why you can get the phone is an output. But our expectation is, I want to get the top two subcategories from the particular category. I want to get the top two subcategories from particular category. Okay, so how can we get that is, so I want to get this category wise sales. Okay, from this I want to get the top two. So then you need to mention, if you want to properly get that output, you need to mention category as a context filter. So when you go for specify that category as a context filter, when you go for category filter, add to context, you click on add to context. Okay, so then first filter will execute category. If you have a two filters, the first filter will execute as a category. It will get the output here. It will get the output here. Okay, and I want to go for apply the second one. I want to go for apply the second one. Subcategory, subcategory top two, subcategory top two. So when you say that subcategory top two, the Tableau can refer this context filter. Tableau can refer this context filter, that is a furniture. The subcategory will go for here. First, it will refer the context filter feature furniture. From that top two, it will get it. From that top two subcategories. What are the top two subcategories here? Chairs and tables. We can get these two as an output. We can get these to an output. The second series of filters which we can apply, those can be refer that context filter. Those can be refer that context filter. Okay, so what Tableau will say that once you created a context filter, you make it as a filter as a context, Tableau will create a temporary space and it will load the data into that context filter. What are the data you, what are the filter we have context, the related data can be stored in the temporary space. The series of filters can be referred through those context data, the temporary space, and related data we can get it into the output. Okay, that's why the context filter we need to be define it. Okay, once you define the context filter, Tableau will create a temporary space and it will load the data into it. The other series of filters which we have it, those can be refer that context filter. Those can be refer that context filter. Clear that what is mean by context filter and how it is working? It's very important. Okay, it's very important. Now the example is clear. Is it clear or not? If you want me to explain one more time, I can
Sir, I have a
explain it.
question. So,
Yeah.
uh, when you're selecting subcategory two, top two, why you're getting phones? I didn't get this, sir.
Okay, why you are getting only phones? You didn't get that.
Yeah, when you're taking top two, why you're getting phones as from technology? In the
Okay,
previous,
no,
what you
no.
explained.
Thing is, yeah. Explaining again. So category one filter we have it. Subcategory we have another filter. Category one filter is there. Subcategory another filter is there. When you select the furniture, when you are selecting the furniture, okay, we can get the furniture related data. When you go with the subcategory top two, when you go for subcategory top two, we are getting chairs. We are getting the chairs. We are getting the chairs and phones. So your question is, when I select the top two, why we are getting phones, right? That's your question, right? Prashanti, that's the correct, right? Your question is this, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Yes, sir.
Prashant. Okay. So again, I'm explaining that. So I'm not making any context filter. I'm not making anything context filter. Okay, removing from the context. If we have a data like this, if you don't apply the context filter, okay, without context filter, each filter work an independent. Each filter can work an independent. So when I go for independent, furniture you selected. furniture related data it will be get. The first filter get it furniture related data. The first filter will get it furniture related data. What is the second filter? We have it subcategory wise top two. Subcategory wise top two. You are saying that subcategory wise top two. You are not pointing which category it is. Which category you are not specifying anything. Just subcategory wise top two you are specifying. So it don't touch that. If it don't touch this point, it will subcategory wise top two. Directly it will go with the subcategories. And which are the top two? Which are the top two? Okay, it doesn't think that you selected furniture, office supplies, or technology. Irrespective of this filter, what happened? It will go for select the what are the subcategories are there. Among those subcategories, which are the top two? Which are the top two? Okay, so here what are the subcategories we have it? These are all we have it. Among those two, top two as a chairs, top two as a chairs and phones. Total. Okay, top two and chairs both are the top two. So it don't consider the A column. It doesn't take that A column. What is the A column or what is the B column? Just irrespective of this, from the subcategories list, which are the top two, those two will be get into the output. Okay. So when you go for get into the Tableau, what Tableau will do is once coming to the Tableau to do two outputs. So Tableau need to bring that satisfying the two conditions. One is a furniture and second one is a subcategory wise top two. So which are the satisfying here? So here if you want to make it as you can write this one as well. Control C. This is chairs coming from furniture. Okay, chairs coming from furniture and phones coming from technology. These two we are getting two subcategories. Okay, we have these two. So which one satisfying these two conditions? One condition is furniture I selected. The second condition is top two subcategories from entire data set. Top two subcategories from entire data set. Top two is chairs and phones. Okay, those two we are getting here. But when you come to the Tableau level, Tableau need to bring that satisfying these two conditions. One is furniture and second one is top two. So when you go for combine and operator, you can put it in between these two and operator you can put it. What is the point? It is commonly there. Furniture is there, and from the furniture, chairs is there, and chairs also here. So these two are satisfying the condition. You can get only this one output into when you select the furniture. Okay, from these two, we can get it only furniture chairs. Same way, you can go for take it as office supplies. You can consider as office supplies. So you selected office supplies from the filter. Go for take the office supplies. Okay. So for this data set and for this data set, is there any common? Is there any common? No. That's why when you select office supplies, there is no output. There is no output. Suppose you selected technology. Suppose you selected technology. Suppose you selected technology here. From the filter, you selected technology. Okay. So technology, we can get it. Again, top two will get from the all the data set. I want to get the top two. This top two we get it. When you say that under operator, in between those two filters need to be satisfied by the Tableau. I can get as output as only phones because only phone is common there in the technology phones and sales value. Okay, so that's why we are getting phones and chairs for each category. Furniture is selected, chairs will get it. Technology is selected, phones will get it. Okay, but only one record you are getting. If you want to get the top two records, if you want to get the top two records, you need to specify that the particular category as a context. When you say that add to context, when you add to context, what happening? The first filter category taking the technology, the first filter taking the technology. Okay, then what happens? This all can be cleared. Okay, so what happened? First you are selecting technology after making as a context. After making as a context, Tableau will go for get the technology related data and it will load into the temporary space, and it will load into temporary space. Okay, once you load into the temporary space, the second filter which you executed, it always refer the temporary space data which is there in the context. Okay, so what we have technology, it will go for technology and get the top two subcategories, and will get the top two subcategories. That is the advantage of that context. That is the advantage of the context. When you say that office supplies, we can get office supplies as a context related subcategories, we can get it. When you go with the furniture related top two subcategories, we can get it as output. Okay, this is the advantage of the context filter. Clear now? Any questions?
Clear, sir.
Yeah. Okay, this is some points about the context filter, and at the same time you need to remember these all points. So why what are the advantages, and at the same time when they say that what is the advantage of the context filter, the first 3 points are important, and these are the limitations and making a faster the context filter. Okay, let me ping you these all points. Okay, save these points about the context filter. Clear? Any questions? Okay, just go through with the context filter today. Tomorrow we can go for see that what are the different types of options we have it here. Okay, what is the filter options which we have it, we can go for see that tomorrow. Okay, so 3 sessions is completed related to filter. We have completed 3 sessions. Complete those 3 sessions. Okay, I shared already 2 recordings. I will share it that third recording also now. Okay, which is today we completed, and just go through that.